So the confrontation between Athens and Ankara has been going on for months now. Now, what is exactly the dispute about?
I mean, if it were that easy to define what is the dispute about, that's already part of the problem, that there are so many issues at hand and so many controversial issues that it's really very difficult to sort things out. So it's not only about substance. Of course, there's a lot of substantial issues, but it's also procedure. You mentioned the Turkish-Libyan memorandum, which is at the time one of the hotspots, and there the two governments, the official government of Libya and Turkey, have delineated the exclusive economic zones without respecting Greek sovereignty in the south of Crete, and actually including in this territory, they are asking for themselves Greek sovereign territory according to international law of the sea. And the sparking point, which you mentioned, where this could actually escalate into a confrontation would be when Turkey sends drilling ships into this area, which is disputed, but for Greece it's not disputed because they call it their sovereign right. And the Greeks then would have to defend their territory. And we had a similar situation in 2020, also in the Eastern Mediterranean. It was then a mediation of the German Chancellor then, Angela Merkel, which prevented things from escalating. But this is a very dangerous situation, and it comes at a time when the Western alliance does not need a new conflict, they need unity. And at the moment, it seems that Turkey is not very keen on keeping the tensions down.
So it's just another aspect of the well-known, long territorial dispute between Turkey and Greece, right?
Yes, I mean, the territorial dispute in the seas, this is the one dimension, and we used to call this territorial dispute, we limited to the Aegean Sea. These are the areas which are in the sea, which is dotted by Greek islands. And now this dispute has moved into the Eastern Mediterranean with Cyprus at the center. Now the Republic of Cyprus is another hotspot, divided since 1974, with a Greek majority and a Turkish community which is in a minority. And this also is the underlying issue, which the two governments are at odds about. So there's a lot of trouble going on. And what is so unpleasant about this, if you look at it in an international context, at this time of history, there are no efforts to solve these issues. There are no contacts and no communication efforts between Ankara and Athens. Even the few contacts which exist in the Western Alliance in NATO are very of a minor nature. This used to be different, but Turkey in this spring Erdogan actually has said this in a very dramatic way. He's not interested in talking to Mitsotakis anymore, and he's cut all communication. And since then, there has been a lot of very, very polemic rhetoric. And if you follow the media here in Greece and you read the newspapers, you have the impression that it's about time. You always have the impression that it's all a matter of time till the two countries get involved in a military confrontation. So it's very worrying. On the other hand, the chances that this happens, if you ask me, from my estimate, would not be that big, because the West, particularly the United States, which continues to play a very important role here, lesser so Germany and lesser so France, but particularly the United States, would do everything in their power to prevent this from happening.
Right, as you mentioned, the other actors, because this conflict indeed has so many layers, it would be really hard for Athens and Ankara to resolve it. But can be there a third party to help solve the conflict?
Yes, I would suggest that bilaterally the two governments at this stage are not anywhere close to finding a solution. And if you look back, they always had third-party assistance, third-party involvement. Now, natural candidate would be the European Union, because Turkey is interested in joining, and Greece is as a member, and Cyprus is. The United Nations play an important role in Cyprus, but this process is stalled.
So there's much more at stake than just natural gas reserves, right?
Oh no, the natural gas is only one dimension of it. At the moment, we need the gas. These governments cannot find a way to somehow sort things out. But let that aside. Much more unfortunate is that they cannot agree also where the pipeline should go through and duration. Greece has a very solid cooperation with Cyprus and Israel and Egypt. And all these, we're talking about the Mediterranean, all these countries I just mentioned. So we see a confrontation there which is not beneficial for regional cooperation and connectivity.